Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. In the last episode, we defeated the Helmer King, we rescued our sister, we found out our true calling down in the ancient city of Hyrule, we found out that Tetra is actually Princess Zelda, and we must go into the two temples here, the Wind and Earth Temple, in order to revive the sages to get the power of the Master Sword back, the true power. But in today's episode, we're going to be starting off. Actually, we're actually going to be starting off a bunch of side quests, because this is what I mentioned a while ago, that I'm going to be doing a lot of side quests at this point. This is the point in the game where you take a break in the action. You take a break in the action of the story and everything. I'm going to change the wind direction up this way, because what I'm going to be doing in today's episode is actually mandatory for the game. So before we get on to side quests, we're going to be doing mandatory stuff still. If you guys plainly remember the gigantic cyclone that appeared in the water, and I mentioned along the idea of you want to avoid that, well, now is the time in the game where you really need to go and get it now. So we're going to head up to Northern Triangle Island, which is up to the northeast of the Tower of the Gods, so that's where we're heading up to right now. Now that we've got the bow, we can actually get this. We can actually go inside the cyclone. I mention this because there is a being inside the cyclone. If you guys remember Zephos back at Dragon Roost Island, we mentioned that his brother has been causing troublesome stuff across the Great Sea with a gigantic cyclone. Well, Cyclos is inside that. I have my camera equipped too, because this is our only chance to actually get a picture of him. So we're going to be taking a picture of him right off the bat, and then we're going to be battling him with the bow, because the bow is what we really need in order to take him out. So now that we've got the bow, it's going to be all good. Now there's the cyclone right there. So let's head close to it. As soon as we get close enough, Cyclos will appear inside the cyclone. Foolish creature who does not fear the gods, to the end of the sea with you. Let the winds of Cyclos' wrath blow you away. So let's go ahead and take a picture of him real quick. Will that be good? Yep, that's good. Alright. So now, we must go ahead and use our bow to attack him about 3 times. He'll do this about a couple times. So let's go ahead and shoot this. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go, got him. So sometimes that, right there, what I was doing, that takes a lot of practice. Because first time playing, this is hard. Trying to take out Cyclos, even without taking the picture at first. So taking the picture and taking him out in one go is really hard. And because if you're not, he's a lot faster than like, let's say the Big Octa when you're sucked into a cyclone like that. Because once you are sucked in, he spits you across the Great Sea. Somewhere random. So you have to go find him again. It's really annoying. So, like, the first time you do this, it's really annoying because he really acts really fast. What a heck of an arm you got there. And what an eye. No one's ever been able to spot me there before. Really? You obviously have mastery of the air. And now that we've established that you're quite the Wind Waker, let's see if you can handle this. Okay, so he's asking us to play a song. So we need to switch over to 4/4 time and go down, right, left. Oops, that was wrong. Down, right. Controller, can you work with me today? Down, right, left, up. There you go. As soon as you play this song, well, you'll learn a new song called The Ballad of Gales. Wahoo! In the hands of a Wind Waker like you, my adorable little cyclones will be able to as happy as can be. If you need more to move like the wind over the ocean deeps, just call on my cyclones. Well, I guess I'll head home for now. See you down the road. And then he goes off into the distance. Now, what the song that we just got, what it does is essentially something that we desperately need. The Ballad of Gales allows us to warp all over the Great Sea. So, various spots over the Great Sea we can warp to. This is very beneficial to have because, well, it makes travel a lot easier. But what we actually need to do right now is to warp to this island right here that I haven't marked on my map yet. Well, I'll be marking it here in just a bit. But I marked every other island you can warp to. I can warp to Windfall, Dragon Roost, Tangle Island, Great Fish Isles. For some reason, Southern Fairy Island. I have no idea why that's that. Tower of the Gods, Forest Haven, and Outset Island. So we can warp to like major islands in the Great Sea. But this one is unmarked. Let's go ahead and warp to it. So warp to this location. Yes. As you guys can see, the Cyclone picks us up and warps us to a different spot in the ocean. We warped inside this island, by the way. And once you do, a cutscene activates. It's another Great Fairy. This one's different. Tell me, little boy, can you control the wind? So young, to have such power. How do you know where to find me? I am the queen of the fairy world. What is the matter, my child? Does that not surprise you, young one? I like you. And so I shall give new power to the bow that you wield. So she's giving us new power for our bow. And no, folks, this isn't like an upgrade to like the capacity. This is an actual upgrade to the bow itself. Once we have it, the power of fire and ice has been added to your arrows. When you take out your bow, use ZR to change arrowheads and fire away. This consumes magic power, so we got fire and ice arrows. So whenever we shoot a fire or ice arrow, it consumes our magic too. Ice arrows can freeze the hottest flames, and fire arrows can melt the coldest ice. The fairies in this fountain will ease your weariness. Use them as you need to. Child, I must tell you, you are just my type. And with that, the Great Fairy Queen disappears. If you really want to know what this island's called, this island is called Mother and Child Isles. We're actually going to be coming to this island quite a bit, but if you guys can actually, here, I'll go ahead and not use my sail, but I'll get out of the boat real quick, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. We actually warped inside the island. As you guys can see, it's surrounded like so. It's really interesting when you really think about it. You have to get the Ballad of Gales in order to get this upgrade. So that's what you really need to do, and you really need the Ballad of Gales to warp out of it. But actually, what we're going to do is we're going to warp back to Forest Haven real quick, because we have a bunch of pictures, and honestly, I'd like to drop them off. So we're going to warp to the Forest Haven to drop off the pictures for the Figurine Palace. And with that, we have a jiggly mailbox right here. So let's go ahead and see what the jiggly mailbox has to say. I'm going to go up here and find out what in the heck is going on here. So it says, "Good evening. Letters for Link. We have one letter. Here's your letter." Now this one is quite different. It says, "This parcel has been sent on cash on delivery. Postage is 201 rupees. Will you pay? Holy cow, that's a lot of rupees. Sure. It says, to the esteemed Mr. Fairy Person, thank you very much for your purchase of enclosed is an incredible chart. This chart will show you where you could find the Triforce charts and Triforce shards. I want you to use it to find lots of them. They're my favorite kinds of items. Also, sir, have you been checking your Tingle chart? Have you seen those giant fairy marks? Follow the chart there, and your fortune will increase greatly. Tingle. So practically, he gives us a new chart. It's called the Incredible Chart. We can now know where the Triforce charts and Triforce shards are hidden. It's positively incredible. But we're not going to be doing this until late game. So we're not going to be really using this chart until, like, the very end of the game. Now, he mentioned something of using the Tingle chart. So let's go ahead and look at it. Actually, let's look at it. That's what the Incredible chart looks like. So every little spot right there, that's where a Triforce shard or a Triforce chart is hidden. I'll go into more detail about that later, but for right now, let's just have it. But anyways, the Tingle chart right here. If you guys see, he marked there's fairies there. Those locations we've already been to, but those are the locations of the fairies that increase your wallet size. You're going to have the max wallet size by the end of the game, because it's going to be very important. I mentioned before. But anyways, let's go inside the Nintendo gallery real quick. Stop the boat. Don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat. Okay, let's go inside the Nintendo gallery, because now we have a couple pictures that we can go ahead and get rid of. So I'm going to go ahead and do so. I do believe we've gotten every one that's missable at the moment. We've got every picture that's missable, minus for two. Two of them are missable, but we're going to be getting them in side quests, so don't worry about them right now. Anyways, let's go ahead and drop down here. So let's go ahead and talk to Mr. Figurine Maker. Welcome, Link. Your figurine-based request has been fulfilled. It's been a long time since I've done work this exceptional. Go to the door on there and check it out. I was completely overcome with the creativity urge to seeing what you gave me. I ended up making lots of figurines. But an all-artistic spirit made me a little absent-minded, so I don't exactly remember which rooms I placed them all in. Why don't you go and have a look inside? Okay, so we have to go and look. I'll go ahead and show you what the figurines look like. But I will be doing 100% figurine quest on in this LP, because I don't really see very many people do this, so I'm going to have to go do that. For right now, we're going to be dropping off all the pictures that we have collected over our adventure so far. So he's going to sculpt all these pictures that I'm going to be dropping off. So let's give him Cyclos. Yes, you're filled with motivation. But he's going to make all these by tomorrow. So let's give him Tetra. There you go. Now, you do get something. It's not like major, but you do get something if you do all the figurines. You get another figurine, but this figurine is actually special. But you only get it whenever you complete all the figurines. So let's go again and give him Godon. We gave him Helmrock King. Let's give him Godon. So all these pictures I'm handing out right now, except this one and this one. These last two are practically, we don't have to worry too much about it. But I just did it just because I can at the moment. But let's go ahead and empty out our Picto box here. Ha ha ha, yeah, inspiring motive. But like, we've gotten practically all the ones that are missable. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the figurines themselves. What we want to do, I do believe we come in here. Do believe it's so. This is the one that's marked the Forsaken Fortress. Yes, this one. If you guys can see, they made figurines right here. This is Mothula. Yeah, see, look. This is what he does. Whenever you show him a picture of an enemy or something in particular, he will make a figurine of these. For these guys, you can either take a picture of the butterfly, the moth, or just the regular Mothula form. You don't have to take a picture of either or to get two separate ones. You just have to take a picture of one. Here's Goma, the first boss. So there you go. It kind of shows. It kind of tells you a strategy on how to beat them too. And there's Kali Deimos. But you can take a look at all these figurines later. But that's practically it in a nutshell. And I do believe he made another figurine, but I can't even remember what it was. But, it's whatevers. So, there we go. That's practically the Nintendo gallery for right now. I will be doing 100% figurines. But I'm going to be mostly taking most of these pictures because a lot of these pictures are just simply like enemies. And I don't want to waste your guys' time by taking a picture of enemies. So I'll be doing most of this stuff like later. So don't worry about it right now. I'm only taking pictures of the stuff that is missable at the moment. But there you go. I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to call it an episode. Actually, no, I'm going to do one last thing before we call it. We're going to warp to Windfall Island. Especially now since it's night. And we're going to set ourselves up for the next episode. In the next episode of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, we are going to start on a lot of these side quests here in Windfall Island. Because there is a lot. I'm going to tell you right now. There is going to be a lot. So I will see you guys in the next episode.